Yes, so hello, everyone, and welcome to CTWC 2023, the second day, the hopefully much more exciting day than yesterday. Yesterday was amazing, but today, top 24 onwards, so really good stuff we'll see. If you followed the tournament yesterday, then you saw that we have already started the bracket, the top 48 till 32. We have had a lot of really nice matches and really nice matchups. We have had people of the lower brackets making it a bit higher and higher. So yeah, we have people like seeds 20 plus who have made it to the 24, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see how far they will make it. And of course, I'm also looking forward to seeing everyone on location here, to see a lot of people, a lot of you guys online here at CTWC 2023. And I think we can take a look at the bracket, because let's be honest, everyone here is hyped for the matches and wants to know who will be able to advance. And yeah, here today we have these amazing matches. We will start at Dan V against Chiek and Tim against Marco here on stream 1. Stream 2 will have Eliva against Michu and Dewey against Jeppa. Then after those matches have finished, we'll have Giant against Michudex here, and Poet against Blackjack as well. And on the other stream there will be Goat against Brookie and Woodchuck against Alex. You most likely know some of these players, like for example Alex is the current Game Boy champion, and others have played earlier, like Michudex for example has played yesterday. Another player you surely have heard of is Gold, because if you followed CTWC 2022, last year's edition, he had his birthday on the second day, and we had a small celebration for him with cake and everything. So 2 players you surely know, and then there are like the ton of other guys you have heard of, like Michu, surely someone you know if you are in the following the scene. He has been in the CTWC Poland scene for a couple of years now. And he is not someone to underestimate. And yeah, Michudex, if you have followed the German scene, for example, someone who has played a lot. And yeah, just a lot of, I would say, known people, if you're in the scene for some time. And of course, some players you might not be most familiar with, especially if you're not in the local scenes. But yeah, I'm hoping that the players are ready. I have seen them earlier here on the set, and yeah, now we see them. We have Dan V against Chiek in the upper match, and Tim against Marco in the lower match. Marco, one of the top Italian players, he has already played yesterday and won the match, so he can play today again. And Dan V is one of the best players from the UK, but he normally is rolling, so let's see what he can do here with Daz. The playstyle he is not most known for, but maybe he can show us today what he can do with Daz. Maybe he will be able to show us that his Daz is as good as his rolling. Later today we will also have some more players, you know, like for example last year's champion Adam, and of course amazing players like Tugi. You might remember the chance from last year we had, and also like one of the best German players with Schnecke, and potentially someone who can beat Schnecke with Mark Migas. If you have been in the German scene again, he has been essentially beating Schnecke nearly every tournament, so let's see what will happen there. I'm really looking forward to them. And we will also have some repeat matches because compared to last year's edition. I think Diva versus Michu, for example, should be a rematch, so let's see what happens over there then later today. Yes, you can see the players are currently warming up. Schwerger is one of the few players who is warming up here on B-type, and we see that he's playing B-type. 18.5 it should be, 18.4. So, yeah, definitely something to warm up with. Feel like you will need to burn a bit, you will need to dig a bit. That's what B-type is amazing at. I would also say that B-type does a better job of putting you like in the PS placement mindset, because you have, well, need to place pieces in an interesting way from the beginning and not once you do the miss drop. So for warm-up, definitely something to take into consideration. Though of course it might be not the best decision here on level 18 starts compared to the level 19 starts that everyone else has been doing. But then again, there have been so many different kinds of warm-up styles, so there's no definite best one. Always take the one you are interested in and feel like it's the best for you. But yeah, I think I have seen some thumbs up here, potentially, so I'm going to assume that the players are trying to start the match soon. But Tim is currently missing. Oh. And yeah, anyone else here from the UK here in the chat? I mean, here on location they are, for example, Dan V and Tim. Also, Alex will be playing later, so there definitely are a couple of different people here in the tournament from the UK. In the chat, I don't know, I'm not really knowing the most about the people in chat currently because I have it open on my tablet, so I can't look at the current viewers. Oh yeah, also Tim has reappeared. He is now in the bottom match sitting. Potentially will warm up a bit. What is he doing? I think he's putting something on the table. I kinda would love to see everything, but I don't at this moment. Yeah, just really amazing players. And again, I'm waiting for their thumbs up, and once we have them, we can start. The first matches of today, a bit delayed, but they will be amazing nonetheless. So let's see who will be able to advance to the next round. Isn't it like a better idea to roll before a Death tournament match? I would say it is. I would even say that it's like the worst idea. But you know, maybe it's like some interesting ideas about that. Maybe it's nice for fingers to warm up. So yeah, we will see what's happening. And as you can see now, he is in the Death playstyle. Okay, so I have just seen that we can start the match here. So let's start the countdown in 3, 2, 1, Tetris! And the players have started. Let's see what the seed, or well, technically seeds, have to give us today. Let's see the kind of RNG players can hopefully enjoy to have. Let's see if there will be like any huge droughts, like 50 plus. I'm also excited to see them. Like droughts are kinda the most exciting thing about a match sometimes. Especially when you have the same drought close and you're just seeing who can get the Tetris, especially if like high level 26, 77 maybe. Then droughts are really amazing. So let's see what will happen here. In the lower game it's neck and neck, only 12 pushdown points difference. In the upper game there's about 1.5 Tetris lead now for Den V here. Zwiek needed to burn a bit more, but now gets the Tetris and now down to less than a Tetris difference. So it's still neck and neck up there. Next Tetris here for Den V. Next Tetris for Zwiek. And Marco and Tim in the meantime still really close, from the 12 points difference now to like 5,000 points difference. The small drought that Marco was able to get Tetris in, not able to get the Tetris in, and Tim got the Tetris. And hello, I think I have seen a new person here next to me. Maybe you can introduce yourself real quick.
I'm very tired.
Yeah, I think everyone is.
What's up, man? Am I don't know how it
You
works.
should be live, but maybe take the mic a bit closer to the mouth because they are a bit less sensitive than you'd hope. And yeah, so hi. Oh, and I just saw that Zwiek apparently topped out at like 85,000 points, so we already have a 1-0 here for Den V.
So you can't hear me breathing?
I hope we can't hear you breathing on stream.
Because it's so close to my mouth, like, you know. I don't know.
I can hear myself breathe, but I hope that the microphone's...
Oh, are you supposed to hear yourself? Because
I think you can... Was it this?
Hello.
Talk a bit?
Hello.
I think you can hear yourself.
Oh, I can hear myself.
But the thing is, you can't hear me, so my recommendation is to have it like this. Like, only have the headphones on one ear, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit more convenient that way. But make sure that you're talking into the microphone from the correct direction, because if you aren't, the sound doesn't get picked up perfectly. But anyways, let's focus on the matches here. And I've seen... Oh, there are the VODs. Okay, I've seen them. So we can start the countdown for Den V against Zwiek in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. That's kind of what I need to be able to follow everything here.
This whole operation is really, really impressive. I mean, it's right up there. I mean, it's all really cool.
Just compared to last year's edition, you are amazed by how much it improved. It's so amazing.
I thought last year was pretty... It was already top of the line, but it's the next level in that, so... What?
Yeah, last year was good, but this year is essentially amazing. Just as the skill improvement was. Like last year, players were good. This year's players are really good. Look at Marco against Tim. Marco at this point 90 lines, Tim at 87 lines, so Marco has played a couple more lines and he's about 100,000 points ahead. It's in reality it's like 2 Tetris' lead maybe? Yeah, now Tim needed to burn a couple of lines, which means that Marco's lead improved a bit. And they are slowly but surely closing in into the transition here. And then we have a bit of trouble, a bit high has been burning. So he should hopefully be able to get low soon. Yeah, it looks like his deck is getting really nice now. Just 2 more lines to burn.
Okay, I hope I'm audible. Well, anyways, Dan had some issues. He's fine now. The thing about Dan is that he's one of the best players in the world, but he very much does not play DAS at all.
Yeah.
But in fact, in qualifying, he got a PB of DAS.
I think it was 884.
Yeah, something good, something
Something like
pretty good.
884. So yeah, Dan is, as you said, he's a really good roller, but he's not someone in DAS to underestimate.
No, but I mean, he's got the stacking, and it seems so far his DAS control seems to be alright. So
That seems pretty good.
yeah, he's looking decent. At the bottom, we've got we're about to transition here. Tim,
9.9s.
yeah, it's 9 lines away, and Marco's got a 2 Tetris lead,
Yeah.
and Tim just has some issues, but he's built out his left side, which is very important.
And he is also still really low, so while he doesn't get points, he's able to stay in the game and has a nice board for the transition at this point.
Yeah,
We
it's
should see him transition and not immediately top out like we saw a couple of times yesterday in other matches.
yes,
There's the
Marco.
transition for Marco. Marco 443 transition. Tim transitions in 2 lines. And it's, yeah, not a Tetris. Oh, and Marco just topped out. Apparently he lost the...
No, the board was just far too flat, and he
Oh,
couldn't
just
get
flat.
anything to the left side, and he couldn't get a bar. He needed a bar immediately,
Okay.
and he tops out. So Tim needs to get to needs 50,000 more points. Needs to get to 445. He's gotten into a bit of a mess, but he's building out.
It's a
Doesn't
bit
get
of a
that low.
mess, but unlike Marco, he has not topped out yet.
Yes, he's putting out squares to the left, which is very important, because right now he's in no rush whatsoever to try and get this down.
You can just line it out. And there was a simul Tetris at the top, and we have some nice Experion here. Because if you might remember, yesterday we teased that today will be a kind of special day. We have some viewer games, like we have a so-called bingo of players, of stuff they achieve. We have it here, and I have my own bingo sheet, and there's like stuff on as like simul Tetris, neck and neck, getting a T-spin, having a 0 line top out, starting at the wrong seat, having the vertical long bar tuck set up. Yeah, it's apparently long bar, not an eyepiece. So yeah, there's a bit of fun there. We also have a record prediction later. And as you just saw, we have the nice simul Tetris implementation of our sponsors. So definitely shouts outs to Yogi for doing the Nestus champs. It's amazing. It's a tool we really depend on here. And you see it does a lot of fun stuff as well.
Tim just had he was very much, yeah, he's only a couple thousand points away. There's a bit of a scare there because he covered up his left side. He did get a J piece over, but thankfully got it over. Now just needs one more line, and Tim's...
He needs to cover
Actually,
points
yeah.
at this point. Yeah, and
There
that's
you
it.
go.
So we can now give the players at the top game a small update. We have Dan at 417 and Schwierg at 361. So it's about a 55,000 point lead here for Dan V. But both players now also need to dig a bit. Not that much, but I would say that this could be Schwierg's chance to catch up depending on the pieces, because he would now go for the center well.
Yeah, that was nicely played, and now well, not quite, but it was almost a perfect transition back to the right side. So that was nicely played there. Trick at 392, Dan in
Dan a bit
some
of
mess.
trouble.
Yeah, at 427.
We needed a couple of O pieces that he didn't really use perfectly. But yeah, while he is digging, we can start the lower match in 3, 2, 1, Tetris! Plays have started. Dan V digging has his longboard dependency on column 2, filled with the J piece, and is just trying to dig out of this. He was ahead earlier, but now Schwierg has the lead of about 2 singles, so not big lead. But considering that you're in the transition now and on Denvi's side, and Schwierg is not as a nice pace lead here for him, especially because Schwierg's board is nicer here on the transition. Like Denvi was able to transition nicely. Oh, but just as I said that there are the missed drops and he doesn't get anything over to the left or the right, and that's the top out for Denvi and the 1-1. Schwierg just won the game, and it's now 1-1. You can safely top out. In the lower game, we have about 1 Tetris lead here for Tim, but we are also only like 16 lines in, so it doesn't really tell a lot. What does tell a bit more is that both players are in a bit of messy stack, but Marco has less holes to fix compared to Tim, at least compared to Tim a couple of lines ago.
Yeah, Tim does not use that bar for the delay triple.
He doesn't, but what we can use is the readiness of the players. So let's start the game here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. The top players have started. Have similar, well, the same placements here at the beginning, and the fourth piece was different now. And I would say that the longboard dependency that Danby has is not something he wanted. That does look a bit awkward. And now he has, he adjusted to not have a double longboard dependency, but his deck is in a really messy place now. He needs 2 longboards, he doesn't get the red S piece over, and this is a rough position.
Yeah, and Marco's topped out right there at 66,000.
Yeah, and Danby will surely top out soon as well, I think. Oh no, he gets this thing over, and he finally gets the longboard. Ooh, that was such a weird rate. It was like, if he doesn't get anything in like the next 1 or 2 pieces, he will top out. But lucky he just got what he needed, so he stays in the game. And is at the beginning, it's not too bad to be a couple of points behind, but he needs to get open and hopefully. Now he doesn't get the LPs over completely. And now he's in a bit of weird position once again in too early with shifts, so let's see what happens there after. Then we either gets the stack under a bit of control or tops out. We'll start the lower match, but I want to focus on that. Yeah, then we're not getting the pieces he wants. He needs something for the white. He doesn't get the OPs over, and it's the top out here for Dan V. So, Chiek, you have won the game and can safely top out now. It's 2-1 for you. Yeah, I think we can do a simul countdown for the matches once they are ready. Shouldn't take too long. Yeah, I see a couple of people here in the chat who are like, I am supposed to play in a bit, but they have been having a party yesterday, and I think until 3 AM.
Yeah.
And there's the ready, so let's start the next countdown here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
You can tell by the sound of my voice that I can confirm that information.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, we were at eating yesterday evening, that's it. But even I am tired from the commentating yesterday and everything. But I still have enough energy here to see that we have 2 match points and a nice last second adjustment there for Dan V of the red S piece there. And another, I don't know if that was an adjustment or an early shift. I would say it was an adjustment.
Yeah, Dan's been having some issues now in this game and the last game.
Yeah.
I hope his dash doesn't run out, but he's going to get a dirty touch right there.
Like in the beginning he was looking really nice, but now his stack has been falling apart a bit in this game and the last game. But he has a heart, so it's not the worst position to be in. He's only down by 1 heart, so he can still win. Marco also not having the best stacking there.
Dan's gonna get the dirty Tetris. He was set up for a perfect clear. Well, perfect clear to open up the well, you know what I mean. But
yeah,
either way, Chiek at 117,000.
Oh, Marco in a bit of trouble. He gets the longbow over and needs to. Yeah, he burns a bit nicely there. Let's see. The best TPs he had. But his deck is lower than it was before, so he should be able to survive this.
That was a very good S flat there by Marco.
Yeah.
He's going to be fine. His left side is still very accessible, and yeah, it's looking good. Although Tim has now taken the lead at 126,000, Marco at 48,000.
About an 80,000 point lead here for Tim, so Marco being 2 points behind and 100,000 points behind Tim at this point. Not the best position to be in. He really needs to get up his game now. Otherwise, he might be out of the tournament soon. In the upper game, then the small mistake of early shift again of the SP, so he needs to burn a couple of lines there. Doesn't look like it will be too many, but it will most likely allow Chiek to get an even bigger lead. He is now 36,000 points in the lead. But Dan V is open before Chiek could use the chance. Dan V gets a Tetris and he is now at 141,000 points against 175,000 points of Chiek. So the lead is about the same, the 38,000 points. And the lower game we have Tim still with about a 100,000 point lead here against Marco. Marco having a rough morning. Maybe he was at the party as well, I don't know, I wasn't there. Oh, Tim has a couple of missed drops and a Witz here for Chiek.
This is all of a sudden now turned into quite an issue now for Tim. Yeah, Yeah, he's gonna need preferably a bar. The square doesn't go all the way over, and that's a big problem.
He needs a perfect quick tap, essentially. He doesn't get it, and that's the top out for Tim. Marco, you need 228. Pete, you need 228 to win. It's about 70,000 points to go. In the upper game, you still have about a 30,000 point lead here for Chwiek. If Chwiek wins this, he advances to the next round. And if Marco tops up before he can catch up the now 65,000 points, Tim advances to the next round. Yeah, I have to admit, my favorite in the upper match was Dan V at the beginning, but now I feel like, as we said, his stack was falling apart in between sometimes.
Yeah, he's had a few misshifts. I don't know what's going on, but right now stack is looking solid. He's got his left built out, and oh, that's yeah, that's exactly it. That's what those are the misshifts for Dan.
And he doesn't get the longbow over, and that's the top out here for Dan V. And Chwiek has swept, no, not swept, has 3-1 Dan V. So GG's Chwiek for winning this match.
Yeah, Marco is just a Tetris and a bit away. Currently stacking solidly, just trying to get this over the line. There's a Tetris, and that should do the trick. There you go. Marco's going to take game number 3 and stays alive in the set. 2-1 now for Tim.
Yeah, 2-1. So maybe Marco will be able to advance because he's just won the first game and the reverse sweep might be incoming. Yeah, so let's see what happens. We are just waiting now for the readiness, and once we have that, we can start this next game of Tim versus Marco in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
We're gonna see Chwiek now in the next round play against Adam, right?
Yeah, it should be Adam.
Yeah, it should be Adam. It's gonna be the 1 seed against Chwiek, and for Dan, really just came here for fun, really, and he's gonna be at CTWC though in Portland, and that's gonna be the most important thing for him. And he's good enough that he can really make a challenge for that.
The question is if he will be able to win, or
I think this year is the best chance of a non-American winner by far, because you've got Dan, who's won Masters this year. You've got SV, who won Masters this year. Sitnev, who at times was the best player in the world this year.
I mean, it's Sitnev, so
yeah,
he does have a chance.
No, I mean, you've got 3 really strong European players like you've never really seen in the years past.
But we also have really strong players here at CTWC DAS.
Yeah, at DAS mostly.
Yeah, obviously these are DAS players.
Yeah.
Most of them at least.
Yeah, most of them, you know. But you've got him right here. Good TPs. Currently at 97,000. Marco in the lead after taking the 3rd game by just under a Tetris.
But the lead is neck and neck, like it's less than a Tetris, so it's not a real lead. Kind of depends on when the next longbow comes. Marco will be able to have the lead with a couple of thousand points. Oh no, there's the longbow now from Marco. So Marco has the lead of about Tetris and and there's the next Tetris here for Tim. So it's back down to 18,000 points. Well open here for Marco. Tim currently not Tetris ready. Might be able to get Tetris ready a couple of pieces here. Yeah, Tetris readiness also for Tim. So the next longbow will be Tetris, and it doesn't really change. We're also approaching like a small drought, 17, 18, 19, yeah, just 20 pieces. And now the lead has increased to a bit more than a Tetris here for Marco. And next Tetris, and it's even... Oh, it wasn't a simul Tetris. It wasn't simul Tetris enough, I see it. Marco here in the lead. After Tim having 2 strong games at the beginning, now Marco is showing that he also has the capabilities of playing amazing Tetris here. Next Tetris for Tim. Marco not being Tetris ready here with the same longbow. But he could have gotten Tetris value with the long bar. So, oh, now he needed to burn one more single.
Yeah, I mean, it's splitting hairs at this point. Right now, since the beginning of the game, there's not been too much change. It's just been very neck and neck the entire way through. Both players just playing solid here. Looking at what, mid 500 transitions at the halfway point.
Yeah. It's pushing like the mid game, I'd say here, like 70 lines in, and that was an early shift here for Marcus. Only run a couple of lines.
Yeah, that was not a good Z piece to get, but gonna burn a nice double into a single T piece, and Marco's gonna be fine. Tim, though, thanks to that little bit of burning, now has a one Tetris advantage.
So it's a small advantage, not something that really matters a lot.
This sort of white mode.
Yeah, I do. I'm this one person who does that.
Hello.
Yeah, but again, the deep between Tim and Marco is so small. It's like 13,000 points. I don't even see the lead next status here for Marco. Marco now having this. It's like a neck. Both players clean. Nobody of the really able to capitalize on anything. Yeah, Tetris here for for Tim, but Marco lost here with the Tetris. How many pieces are there apart? Feels like quite a bit.
No, I think this. I have no idea.
It's only like 1 or 2 pieces. Okay, it felt like much more to me. But yeah, what feels like a lot is the amount of digging that Tim has and had to do. Also, thanks Mark for the 1 cent contribution.
Yeah, thank you for giving 1 cent to your own tournament.
Exactly. If you type in the chat !Matcherino, you should get here the nice Matcherino link. And if you want to support the players, especially the ones who will play later today, and yeah, kind of help us with the prize money, then feel free to donate. Everything gets directly to the players, and yeah, just so your appreciation.
Yeah, Tim was in a mess and is now behind, but is now clean. And now the roles have been reversed because now Marco's in a mess, and he's only got 11 lines to really make sure that this doesn't get any worse. I mean, right now it's fine. You can still survive this height on 19, but just needs to make sure that it doesn't get any further up. But he's doing well. Needs an LRJ.
He's mostly been doing well, but only 3 more lines, so he can't get perfectly open for the transition. He's now transitioned, but less than Tetris behind Tim. So that doesn't matter much. What matters is that his tech is not the nice for the transition. He doesn't flip the LPs. That could be a lot of trouble here for Marco now. He needs something for the left side, and he doesn't get anything over. He just gives up, and that's the third heart for Tim, and Tim advances to the next round.
Yeah, that was a rough way to end that there for Marco, but did well to get out, was playing some good stuff. But it was just that, yeah, as you said, the non-rotation of the piece. That unfortunately finished them off.
So we have now the first 2 matches of the second day of CTWC DAS. And yeah, that was, I would say, a nice opening here. Not too exciting, but nice enough for us to wake up and now I think have the energy for the next matchups. But now the most important question of every match. What's your review of them? Like your opinion? Anything you want to mention?
What do I want to mention? I don't know. Yeah, some good matches. I don't know what the next ones are, but sorry, I'm very tired, as you can tell.
I think everyone here is tired. But I can tell you what the next matches are in just a second.
Yeah, it's gonna be Trick against Adam, and then what?
Like
Tim against Tim against Gunter. That's gonna be.
Yeah, it should be Giant against Mutodex and Poet against Lecture here on our side. And as you can see, the first matches here finished, and the next round, Trier can or will face against Adam MTS, as you said, and here's one against Dan V, the CTWC stronger opponent, but it will be hard to win against Adam later.
I can see Poet actually, outside of the booth. I think he's trying to go find the toilet.
Yeah, most likely. And Tim will have to face Gunther. They were really close during the qualification. It was like both got a max out, just a bit different kicker. So I'd say that both of them should have nice chances here. And here, Giant against Mitodex, 2 Germans, and whoever wins will face Tetris Schnecke, another German guy. And Poet against Blackjack. Poet, he's playing for the American flag. Kind of funny story. The sign-up sheet read was like, hey, what country are you from? Like, for example, USA, Germany. You just copied like, for example, USA, Germany. And that's why he's now playing for America.
Yeah, that's reasonable. That's a good way to pick your country.
Yeah, I'd say it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, well, it should be interesting. I am looking forward to seeing Poet play because Poet is, over the years that I've known Poet, what, like three years now.
Yeah,
I've always known him as probably one of the best stackers, just full stop at anything.
Yeah, I've seen him play the first time at the CTWC 2020 where he won. And since then, I've seen him play in a couple of tournaments. Sometimes he got really far, sometimes sadly not. But that's what you do when you have strong opponents. And I'm going to say he has a chance. Like, he's a good player, but he generally plays hybrid, so he dashes, rolls, taps, whatever he feels like. But now he has to play dash only, which is maybe is a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, I met this the second time I've met Poet. The first time I met Poet, I didn't recognize him because he was wearing fishing gear.
Oh, where was that?
That was the weekend of CTWC Germany.
Oh, the 2021 edition, I think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, do you remember how far you got there?
Well, there was the PAL tournament on the first day, where I got second to Poet.
Okay.
And then I got second to Mark in the CTWC Germany. So it was a fantastic weekend. I won absolutely nothing. I just won two.
You said that you're like the second place of everything. Talk about a second. I think we need a break, like a second of break, 1 or 2 minutes maybe, for the players to get ready and everything. So, see you in about 2 minutes. So, welcome back to the CTWC 2023 edition.
Yes, welcome back. Hello. Alright, so I'm alone here. Hello. Well, we've got the next set of matches. There's a bunch of noise in my headset. I don't know what that is. By the way, we've got Giant and Mitolex and Poet and Milchuk, which should be fun. Mitolex was how do I know Mitolex? He was one of the 3 people from the DACH region who tried to qualify for CTWC 2020, and Giant has been around for time. I know Giant. Giant's been around, and of course Poet, one of the best stackers I know. And then Milchuk, Polish powerhouse. Yeah, that's who we've got. I don't know what to talk about. Well, we can see. Oh, so Aliwa's beaten Mihu, which means that there's going to be a rematch of Mark and Aliwa from last year, where Aliwa managed to pull off the upset. And Jepper took out Dewey, as we can see, and now he's going to play Leo, and that's going to be, I think, probably the closest match of the top 16, because Jepper is the one person who I think really underqualled compared to how good they are.
But don't forget, yes, that he uses a different controller. So while he might have underqualified, he now plays much better than during qualification. Like, you had used the microphone and, not microphone, I meant controller. And since then, he has really improved a lot. And I think we can hope for amazing Tetris today. And yeah, let's see if what I said will be ready. And yeah, I see it correctly. The upper match should, or maybe even both matches should be ready. So let's start the countdown here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris! And yeah, there was a question about posting a link to multi-Twitch, so that people can watch both streams in the same window. I personally say just go for it. I don't really care, but Dan has just joined, so maybe he knows about the multi-Twitch and links and everything, if that's allowed or not. Yeah, let's focus here on the most important thing, the matches. We have Giant and Poet, both of the water wanted to CT in the beginning. Blackchuck currently a bit behind, gets a Tetris, but everyone is, nearly everyone is clean. Poet is in a bit of trouble here. He needs to burn a couple of lines, which most likely will allow Blackchuck to get the lead, and there's the Tetris and small lead here for Blackchuck. Blackchuck needs one more Tetris to have an actual lead, but Poet should be able to be clean again soon. Yeah, he is now clean. And let's see if he will be able to get the Tetris. There's a Tetris, but Blackchuck was able to use the same number for Tetris, so it's neck and neck. Why are the players at the bottom tapping? They are not tapping, they are using dash. They are just using their weird dash grips, which probably comes from them tapping a lot. But yeah, no, it's dash. I mean, you can see them, they are not tapping like the button 10 times a second. It's just pure dash. Or it should be, at least. The refs are checking everything, so I just trust them that everything is working correctly.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a misdrop.
And there's a
there
witz for Poet, did you see it?
Well, that was not intentional whatsoever. That was a misdrop.
Oh,
I don't know what was going on there.
The long placement also wasn't intention. He kinda needs to run a couple of lines here.
And LPs should be pretty good for the... Or no, he's gonna try and go for something. Oh, it's probably smarter than me, so it's gonna be better.
Know. I mean, everyone here is a smart player, I'd say. But yeah, Blackchuck now. Tetris and some change here in the lead. Poet still burning, and the upper game is 34 points. Yeah, less than a single.
Yeah, right now everyone's just playing clean on all 4 boards. The top game has just been very close, very solid from both players. Not really too much to comment on.
No, it looks like
so far
good games here.
Mitolex is going to end up with a Lombard dependency, but immediately covers it up, and now, after a barrage of squares, is now going to be in some danger. Needs a J piece, but a Z and an S combination going to work out nicely. Gets the S over, and now needs a 3 wide right here, but unfortunately puts some more weight on that hole. Giant now also in some trouble.
Yeah, but that means that they continue to be neck and neck here.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's... Maybe it's a bad sequence in the RNG. I don't know what's going on here.
I would assume it is.
But both of them should be okay. Mitulex gonna open up and gets an L piece for that. Nice Lombar right there. T piece would be perfect, but plays it nicely. Giant there with a perfect T piece. Nice adjustment there. Unfortunately, he's gonna end up with a Lombar dependency, but if he can fill that soon, he's gonna be clean.
Yeah, but Nextshark has dropped 2 J pieces, so he has a bit of weird of the left side. Has a Lombar dependency. He needs something for like the black hole he has there, but doesn't get anything, so he needs to burn quite a bit.
Yeah, I thought he might go for the spin right there with the LPs.
I would have assumed that he would try that, but maybe he just missed it.
Yeah, but he's low down on the board. This is going to allow Poet, though, to take the lead, who is clean now. 308,000 for Poet. Gonna add
If you look at the lines, it's an even bigger lead here for Poet, because Nextshark has played a Tetris more and has more than a Tetris behind, so it's like a 2 Tetris lead here for Poet. The upper game is still neck and neck. Everyone is approaching the level 90 transition slowly. Everyone has played a bit more than 90 lines, so there's like 30-35 lines to go. Nextshark is in a bit of trouble here. He is high and needs to find a way to dig out of this.
Right now, this is still okay. You can get a L piece upright to the left side. Now it just needs L or J. You use a Lombar, but still needs an L or J. Either way, Poet has now taken a commanding lead here.
Nearly 100,000 points, so Nextshark finally open again, could go for a center world triple.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, Check's gonna be fine, but is gonna allow Poet to take quite a good lead here into the transition, so it's gonna be up to Check to try and make that up in post. Meanwhile, there on the upper game, they are both also about to transition, and it's much closer.
Nextshark also finally open and clean again, so he can get 1 or 2 Tetrises until the transition, which he really needs. If you look at the points, it's like 120,000 point difference, so Nextshark needs to play pretty nicely if he wants to win, and has to hope that Poet does some smaller mistakes, maybe even some bigger mistakes. Otherwise, that's probably gonna be it here for Nextshark in this specific game. He transitions at 355. Poet at 501, so it's like a 150,000 point difference in the transition. Mitulex has also transitions in a bit of trouble. He has misdropped 2 pieces. There's the S and T piece, but looks like he was able to burn and is now lower and can focus on digging the final couple of lines here.
Yeah, Giant also got into some trouble right after the transition. It's very low down on the board, so it should be okay. Gets a nice Lombar and a J piece, so...
Mitulex with 2 more misdrops, and that's the top out here for Mitulex. Mitulex tops out, and that's 1-0 for Giant. In the lower game, Nextshark was able to catch up a bit, like 70,000 points-ish.
Yeah, this
but
is a rough left side. Oh,
he doesn't get it over, and that's the 1-0 for Poet. So, in both matches, the left player, the I think upper seed, has won the first game. Again, as I said, Giant versus Mitulex it's a hard game. Let's say it like this. Poet versus Nextshark also a bit apart, I'd say, with the seeds. But yeah, they're ready, so let's start the countdown here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris! And let's see if the lower seeded players can win the next games, or if Giant and Poet might be able to even sweep them.
Yeah, that was a bitter top out there from Milchuk, because he got the perfect piece in that situation, which is an L piece.
Yeah, but he just didn't get it over.
Yes, when you don't get that over, then... Oh, that's a rough feeling. I had that in my quals yesterday. But one of my
I think there's another ready, so let's start the Poet vs Nextshark game here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris! Yeah, they've now started. Giant with a bit higher Freight-inspired well there he had. It's now in the standard well and is going to get Tetris ready. Is Tetris ready, gets the longbar, gets the Tetris. And Mitulex is Tetris ready, is waiting for the longbar. Gets the longbar a bit too late. The Nextshark needs 2 tugs and this doesn't small hole, so he needs to burn a couple of lines, which means that Poet's lead will increase even more. He is about a Tetris ahead at this point. But there's the next Tetris here for Mlekchak. So it's neck and neck, next Tetris here for Poet. In the upper game, Giant has a bit less than a Tetris lead here. And thanks MB Adept for the $20 contribution here for the prize pool. Thanks a lot. And if you want to help the tournament and support the players, type !Matcherino in the chat. There you can do the challenge for, I think it's 40 cents. And you can donate money if you want to.
Yes, you can do the sponsor quests, which are completely free.
Yeah, they're free.
Just take a bit of your time. But they give real money
Yeah, but,
to the prize pool.
it was like 5 seconds or so there's nothing to lose.
Yeah, just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, there was a small drought apparently on the top. I sadly have missed that a bit, talking about the Matcherino here. But both players have survived it, so even if there was like a big drought, didn't really matter. But Giant is in the lead of about 80,000 points here, so Mitrodex needs to increase his aggressiveness here if he wants to have a chance. Electric needs to burn a single here, but he needs the piece for that, and I'm kind of missing the piece. Yeah, he gets the longbar, gets another longbar as open, is not Tetris ready. Is now Tetris ready, but now Poet 60,000 points ahead. Next Tetris here for Mlekchak. Mitrodex a bit dirty here, needs to burn 2-3 more lines. And Giant might be able to get an even bigger lead here. Maybe he can get to like 100,000 points lead. Yeah, next Tetris here for Giant, 100,000 point lead essentially here for Giant if we take the lines into consideration. So Mitrodex really needing to start playing aggressive, start getting the points here. We are more than halfway through level 18. So not that much left, considering that Mitrodex has been behind the whole game essentially. Whereas in the lower game, Poet against Mlekchak, Poet is in the lead, but while he's in the lead, it's not big. It's like Tetris. Now it's like 2 Tetrises. But Mlekchak is open and Tetris ready, whereas Poet is not. So Poet can use this longbar, but Mlekchak can use this longbar. Poet can use the next longbar, so back to 40,000 points lead. Mlekchak now Tetris ready, Poet not. So next Tetris here for Mlekchak. The lead. It changes between 1 and 2 Tetrises depending on when the longbar comes. Both players now are Tetris ready though. So this longbar is a Tetris for Poet and a Tetris for Mlekchak. In the upper game, we have still about 100,000 point lead here for Giant. And I think I've seen Giant play since 2020 as well, so a lot of players I've known for years and years. Next set was for Giant. Giant now nearly 120,000 point lead here. Mitrodex will be able to use the longbar that Giant wasn't, I think. Yeah, there's now a small drought in the upper game. 15, 16, 17. Let's see how bad it will be. Next set is for Poet. Next set is for Mlekchak. Mlekchak now barely in the lead. Next set is here for Mitrodex. Next set is for Mitrodex. Mitrodex being able to catch up a teeny tiny bit. But not really a lot. Especially considering that he has played more lines. So it's still 100,000 point lead. Pace lead at least here for Giant. In the lower game, Mlekchak needing to burn a couple of lines. He has a couple of holes there. Like 2 holes, so not a lot of holes to fix, but a lot of lines to fix, and that's what matters most.
Yeah, I was hoping for a 3-white there. He's gonna get a good 3-white right there. Mlekchak just slowly burning out of this, and a good timing for him because Poet is now not really in that much of a dig, but it's gonna cost him a few burns. Right now, Poet 2 Tetrises ahead, and Mlekchak gonna make up one of those with that Tetris. Poet decides to go for a left well, is gonna decide not to burn.
But let's focus on the upper game a bit, because they're really close to the transition. Mitrodex transitions with 1 more Tetris and Giant with 6 more lines, so 2 more Tetrises. So there's the Tetris for Mitrodex, and because he should transition first, but he transitioned without a Tetris, so he was kinda high, but he did get pieces over. So nice transition here for Mitrodex. Next Tetris here for him. But now Giant has transitioned as well and played 2 Tetrises less, so it's still essentially 100k lead here for Giant.
Yeah, Giant
in a bit of trouble though.
Need needs an L piece, really. Doesn't get the long bar over, and that's going to do it for Giant. So Giant tops out at 471. Is not going to be able to get any more lines. So Lex needs to get up to 472.
But
also
he tops out as well, so that's the 2-0 here for Giant.
And right now, Lechek is in quite a bit of danger. Only has 3 lines to go until transition and is very high up.
Yeah, he's far too high for transition. Like, unless he could roll, that's it, and he can't roll in the dash terminal, and that's the top out from Lechek and the 2-0 for Poet.
These set of 4 players are very good at ending their games at the same time.
They are really good at that. And you know, that's a skill that I, as a commentator, kind of appreciate, because it means that we can do starts at about the same time.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, I mean, it would be much nicer if they played until level 29, of course. But let's see if we can get 4 times level 29 today, and hopefully this match. Only I see a comment about tapping. Yeah, slow tapping if you're at maximum as fast as Death is allowed. So I think it's like 10 Hz tapping, or something like that is allowed. It should be 10 Hz. Yeah. There the ready in the chat. So let's see them start the next game here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Everyone except Poet has started. Poet started a bit later, which you know means he can now look to the side.
Yeah, you'd think that's an advantage, but I can tell you from playing matches and whenever I'm behind, it can also kind of psych you out.
Yeah.
Thinking you're kind of focusing too much almost on whatever pieces come next.
I mean, it was Joseph who, and was it 18 or 19? He did the same trick of being a bit behind his opponent for the first couple of pieces, but it didn't really pay out. So it's a theoretical tactic you can use. It's not worth it.
Yeah, okay, Lechek is in some danger, but there you go, good burn. Giant is in some early trouble. Not really in too much danger of topping out, but this is going to be quite a dig. Going to cost him a lot of lines and is currently 2 touches behind. Lex could have used the square for a perfect double, but is going to tuck that for a double instead. Oh, Giant is in a lot of danger. Giant's going to top out at 34,000, and Lex is good. Going to take game number 3.
So yeah, we don't have a sweep in the upper match, which is really nice to see. Because as we know, sweeps they're showing that one player is much better than the other. But I don't like having them in comp. Like if you're playing for fun, sure, it's kind of nice. But in comp, I want deciders. Deciders all the time. Yeah, we might be able to get a decider in the upper and lower match. And we will see if we can have that in a couple of seconds as we start the game here in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Right now at the bottom game, as the top game is just getting started, oh, Lechek was really hoping for a T or a Z. He's going to get a T, and now SP is going to work out perfectly. Tetris there from Lechek, Tetris for Poet. Same point in the RNG currently, in a 15,000 lead for Lechek. Poet going to get a bar and fills in the dependency. So right now, after about 50 odd lines, Lechek with a slight lead.
Yeah, about the Tetris and a half. And the upper game is about a 1 Tetris lead here for Giant.
I just want to finish my point about cheating by starting out later. The one thing you can do that does actually work, at CTWC especially, I noticed this whenever I'd be behind. I wouldn't be looking over at my opponent's board necessarily, but I could, in the corner of my eye, see the Tetris flash, so I would know that a Lombard would be coming soon. So that is one way to a little bit of gamesmanship.
Especially important when you're like in a 50-piece drought or so, that you're like, okay, the long bus coming in the next couple of pieces, so you need to stay clean.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, that is important, but it applies to both players. It's not something that you can really train for, I'd say. Unless you are like, okay, I'm going to push down the first 20 lines, then I'm so far that it doesn't have my opponent. That does work, but then it puts you at the risk of pushing down, having displacements, and I would say JMP's SPS is the standard for a reason.
Yeah, I'd say just play your own game.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think all that stuff might help in some scenarios, but at the end of the day...
Talking about scenarios where it might help, and you have a 30-piece drought, so maybe it would have helped if they were a bit behind, but that's the Simul Tetris, and once again, XPERION logo here. As we know, XPERION is the location here in Cologne, and it's the most amazing Tetris location, or generally event location I could have ever hoped for any Tetris event. It's amazing, I love it here.
Oh, it's sick. And Dan played some games yesterday. It's honestly amazing. I'm very, very amazed by this place.
Yeah, it's perfect. Just as the merch we have here on location is really nice, like the shirts we have. I do love the logo, or the design. The custom controller cases we have are really nice. And the cartridge, I mean, it's the newest Tetris gym, so you know it's high quality.
Yeah, I bought some stuff from the merch store yesterday. It was, spent some money, and well worth it.
Yeah, I think the Tetris gym is even a bit cheaper than if you ordered online, because you don't have to pay shipping. So if you don't have one, you want one, and you're here on location, check them out.
Right, so players at the bottom are getting ready to transition. Poet with a good long bar right there is behind by 50,000 points. So Mleczek, having a game, needs this game to stay alive here in the set. And
he does need to win. He needs to put on pressure, because he wants Poe to do some mistakes here on the level 19 speed.
Yeah, Mleczek gonna transition here with the next Tetris. Should he get the bar? Poe does transition at 495, and Mleczek's gonna transition at 548. Both players clean, and Mleczek with the lead. Good double well set up there for Mleczek. Poet though with the immediate 19 Tetris really. 521 for Poet and 554 for Mleczek, and he's going to be able to get the bar over. Unfortunate Lombard dependency now for Mleczek, and it's not the best of left sides.
Yeah, but he's still ahead, so it doesn't matter if he burns a couple of lines, or it doesn't matter as much, but as we can see, Poet is catching up, and from the, I think it was 70,000 point lead at most I saw, he's now down to only about 11,000 points difference, so he's nearly caught up. Especially considering that Mleczek has played, or not now, but earlier was playing a couple more lines, so let's just say that it's neck and neck there. And Mleczek being high-end, he gets something over, he doesn't get the next long bar over, and that's the top out for Mleczek. Pose, you need about a couple more singles, 2,000 more points, one more single, that's it, and that's the 3 sweep for Poet. And Poet advances to the top 16. Congratulations. The upper game, Mitrodex currently looks like he might be able to win this game, because he's had like 66,000 points, while Giant needed to burn a couple of lines here. We have a small drought now of 15, 16, 17 pieces, 18, 20, 22. So a small drought, let's see how bad it will be, and I can tell you it's not that bad, but Mitrodex closed as well exactly when the long bar came and wasn't able to get anything done, and apparently Poet is trying quick tap, so okay. Why?
Why not? Mitrodex were going to be able to fill in the Lombard dependency, and just in time here, really for both players, getting clean just in time, as we're about to transition just a couple of lines away. Giant, with that saying, I'm going to transition to level 19 at 332, but immediate misdrops here for Giant. Going to get a Tetris to alleviate lots and lots of pressure. But this is still going to be quite an excavation here for Giant. 357 for Giant. And Mitrodex not able to get the bar over. Going to top out.
Yeah, most likely.
And so is Giant. So Mitrodex with a higher score, simul top out. But Mitrodex able to take game number 4. And 2 out of 3 games done for the reverse sweep.
I'm able to hear the crowd a bit because of a microphone we have over there. I don't know if you can hear them.
Oh, I can hear it.
You can hear the crowd?
Yes.
Yeah, they are hyped and they were like shouting, Mitrodex, let's go! So, we have now a decider. We have seed 14 on the left side. Giant against seed 30. Mitrodex on the right side. Let's see who can win this match in 3, 2, 1. Tetris! Different placements here from the beginning. And
I love that. I just love it.
I do love it when the players have like the same piece of placements for like first 10, 15, maybe even 20 pieces. And it's just fun like to be like, and when will they change that? When do they have different ideas?
Yeah, I just like seeing people's deviations and stacking.
Both is fun.
Because, I mean, theoretically there is one single optimal way to play, probably, but in practice human beings can only really play their best.
Especially if you don't know the exact pieces. If you know like the complete seed, you can probably get like a perfect Tetris game a lot of times.
Yeah, probably.
But you never know them, so there are different ideas, and like if you put this, the next pieces can be there, and there's like a lot of algorithmic thinking you need to learn, and that's the fun of Tetris. Talking about Tetris, they're less than a Tetris behind, only like half a single, and Meteorx in a bit of misplacements there.
Yes, he the S piece was perfect for the placement he was gonna make, but unfortunately he misshifted that and then only realized it halfway as the S piece was falling down, and now that's caused lots and lots of chaos.
So he needs to run a couple of lines, which means that Giant is able to build up some lead here. He is now about 3/4 of a Tetris ahead, and potentially can get an even bigger lead depending on when Meteorx is open, which is now, meaning Giant won't get much more of a lead here. Now Giant needs to burn here a couple of lines, doesn't get used the long bar because he was closed, and Meteorx now less than a Tetris ahead. It's neck and neck. Next Tetris here for Giant, next Tetris here for Meteorx. Giant has a hole in his deck, so he'll only be able to get a triple, whereas Meteorx is clean, and as clean for now. The pieces he gets aren't that nice, so he's now not able to get a Tetris. But so was Giant with the long bar, but now Giant got the Tetris, and he's now ahead by a Tetris. Exactly a Tetris. And, well, yeah. Next Tetris for Meteorx, next Tetris here for Giant. So if you look at the runway, we can see that for now Giant has a teeny tiny bit more pace potential. But it's so small that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, essentially Meteorx has burned one more line, but they were only... they're only differentiated by pushdown points right now.
Yeah, it's a pushdown point. And like the singles they play differently, so not really... Yeah, they're essentially having the same game point-wise, but if you look at the board, now Giant needs to run a bit more, so... He's kinda... One laugh to say that Meteorx was able to get ahead, but as we see, no, not at all. Still neck and neck. The long bars just don't come when the players want them for the Tetrises.
Meteorx with the Lombard dependency right here.
Yeah, and he also has a small hole, so while he would be able to get a Tetris if he had gotten the Lombard one piece earlier, he would have needed to burn later, but now he needs to burn, so this might be the chance for Giant to... No, it's not. Tetris for Giant, Tetris for Meteorx. If the Lombard would have come like 1 or 2 pieces earlier, Giant would have been able to get the lead. But that's just now the case. Now Giant in the lead of a bit more than a Tetris, and the next Tetris here for Meteorx, so it's back to neck and neck here.
So far in this set, most of these games have been decided on 18, and right now Giant with a slightly, not a full Tetris lead. Both players are clean. Both players are Tetris ready. Meteorx's left side not optimal. But both players going to get a Tetris, almost a silent Tetris. Still a 1,000-point lead here for Giant, and we are less than 30 lines, less than 40 lines away from the
35 lines. So the players need to get like the mindset of having a clean stack now, because I would kind of argue if like 25 lines away from transition is more important to have a clean stack than get every single Tetris possible. That's at least my opinion, my experience. And yeah, now Giant got like 2 Tetrises, so he's now 2.5 Tetrises ahead of Meteorx. Meteorx also needing to burn a couple of lines here, so his number 1 priority now should be cleaning up. And he has a Lombard dependency in the left. Does he get the T-spin? He doesn't get the T-spin. This means that Giant will be able to get an even higher lead. Maybe he can get up to like 3 Tetrises soon, depending on when the Lomba comes, as we are now in a small drought. 21, 22, 23. Let's see how bad this drought will be.
This is fantastic timing here for me. It's gonna not allow Giant to really add on to this lead.
Yeah, which is already big enough. It's now like 3.6 Tetrises.
And in all that time, looks like Meatlex is going to be able to use the same bar that Giant just used. For the Tetris.
And thanks Aptus for the wait.
So yeah, it's 2.5 Tetris here for Giant, and we're 1 Tetris apiece away from transitioning here for both players.
But both players have a nice tech transition here for Giant 4-7-5. Meteordex wants to transition with a Tetris, so let's see if the next Lumber comes in time, or if Meteordex needs to touch. But no, we are 4-7-5 and 4-1-5, so we have about a 60,000 DT here in the transition for Giant. But Giant now needs to burn lines, which might allow now Meteordex decides to go for the triple instead of the Tetris, so the lead doesn't really change. But Giant here, as you can see, has a couple of host Longboard dependency there, so really he needs to get clean, because otherwise Meteordex might be able to catch up. Let's see. Next Tetris here for Meteordex. Meteordex only 1.3 Tetrises behind, has a bit cleaner stack than Giant. Still needs to burn a couple of single here. He could now try to go for the crate inspired well, but he gets the eyepiece over. Nice, gets the tug, gets the next longbar over. He's now kinda low. Giant still in the digging process here, still higher than Meteordex is. And while he has the lead, he doesn't really get any cleaner here on level 19. He got dirty in the beginning and wasn't really able to get anything done, whereas Meteordex is now clean again and is essentially waiting to get Tetris ready and then get the Tetris, but decides to play safe and gets the triple. And Giant finally clean. He is great well ready, has now shifted the duel to the right side and can go for Tetrises again. Meteordex is not Tetris ready, doesn't get a Tetris here, only a triple. So the lead still here for Giant. Both players are in the not mindset. Forget it, Tetris. It was an early shift of the SPC here for Meteordex. So Meteordex now in the digging process here, which might allow Giant to get clean earlier and increase the lead.
Yeah, Giant was Tetris ready there. So far, this is probably the game that's lasted the longest.
Yeah, as of this match at least.
And there's a Tetris for Giant gonna add on to the lead, now up by 55,000 points, while Meatlex is still trying to burn this down. It's still very much survivable. Giant is set up for another Tetris. Good double right there.
Yeah, but Meteordex doesn't only need to survive, he needs to get Tetrises because he is behind. And Giant doesn't look like he's going to top out soon. Next Tetris here for Giant. Just playing clean Tetris here, gets the TP stack, whereas Meteordex gets higher and dirtier. He needs something for the left side to burn. He doesn't get a piece over to the right side, and that should be it. That's the top out for Meteordex, and Giant wins this game. Giant advances to the round of 16. You know, Meteordex really put up a fight there, as you could see.
Yes, well, you could see both players wanted it. It was the game that went the longest by far, but Giant in the end, with some good post-transition play, gonna be able to stamp it out and get the win in the decider.
Exactly. I have to say, I'm really impressed by what I've seen from Meteordex today. Like, he was seed 30 against seed 14. There was 16 seeds of difference, which is a lot. And he was able to put up a really nice fight. He managed to get into the decider, stayed really close to Giant for essentially the whole decider, and just in the end, for like just a couple of seconds, he got a misdrop with bad pieces and then topped out. But he nearly could have won, or nearly won, you could even say, the match if one Tetris closer. But now we have finished the first round of today, the round of 24, and we now have the round of 16 next. And here on stream 1, we will see Adam against... we will see, what is it? Mark Migas against Eliva and Leo against Yepper. As I think you have said earlier, Mark Migas against Eliva is going to a rematch of the last year's edition, where Eliva, I think, has won against Mark Migas, which I'm still a bit, not sad, but like, what's the correct word? That I had to go to get food for us staff people. just when Eliva played against Mark and won against Mark.
Really?
I was outside getting food,
Really?
but
Alright.
this year I will be able to see the match, and I hope that it will be at least as amazing as last year.
Yeah, it was quite an upset. Mark didn't play his best. For my money, he's the best player in the world probably, and
Yeah, I know.
very much would have been in the conversation last year, but didn't play his best, and Eliva able to get the win last year. We'll see if it's a repeat of 2022, or if Mark can go a step further and get it done.
That is something we will see. And another thing we will see is Leo against Yeppa. Have you seen Leo play before? Because I have to admit, I don't really recognize the name from any Tetris tournament.
So the thing about Leo is that I'm his biggest fanboy, and
Perfect that you're here now. You're
Yes.
an unbiased commentator, as we
I'm
need it.
very unbiased. Because the thing is, one day I just watched Leo play in a random match, and I realized that this guy's, eye test-wise, the best stats player I've ever seen, easily. He was pulling stuff off that I just couldn't comprehend.
So you're
So
going to say, or you say that we will have really nice games from him. You will see like placements you have never seen before. We will see spins that you didn't think about. We will see placements that might not make sense in our mind, but will just push him further and further and make him win the tournament. Is that what you're trying to say?
maybe,
Because that's what it sounds like to me.
maybe. I just know that Leo's very good. He is the thing about Leo you do have to keep in mind about his performances today. He has just only recently gotten a console, so he's still adjusting to that. He
That's always
says,
the handicap.
yeah, he says he's feeling pretty good from what I've spoken to him, but that is something to keep in mind.
But you know, we will see what happens if Leo will win, if Yeppa will win, or if in the other game Marco or Eliva will win. That's something we will see after a short ad break. See you in 2 minutes or so. So after this short ad break, we are back, And as you can see, Tugi has left me because he needs to prepare for his own match, which will be in the second half of the top 60.